Thanks for the support as a channel member, Justin Parsons. Well, I think that's the first time I've used this as an episode title this year, but we are in the final game of the season, final 2 games of the season, and we have the opportunity for some good old classic backdoor KEV. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 23 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our final 2 games of the league season, both home games. We play Forest and Brentford, knowing that 2 wins could lead to us being in the Premier League. West Brom have completely fallen apart. They are in free fall. They are in terrible form, just as we've hit some good form. And this is how good our form has been. We've won our last 6 league games in a row, so we are in incredible form, coming off the back of some really awful form. And we're the form team in the entire league, I would assume. Let's double check, do some fact checking. We are the form team in the entire league. West Brom actually not as bad as I thought they were, but I knew there'd been a defeat. I knew they were dropping points in there somewhere, and we need them to drop a couple more, because we have an opportunity here to go up automatically. 2 points behind West Brom, 2 home games to play. Otherwise, it's going to be the playoffs and the disappointment of not going up automatically, but at least we'll hit the playoffs in good form. But we're just all about hoping West Brom mess up. We play Nottingham Forest. West Brom play Cardiff. So Forest are down in 11th place, Cardiff in 21st. You expect us both to win that one. So going through to the final day of the season, we play Brentford, who are in 12th. Meanwhile, West Brom are away against Ipswich, who are 15th. I mean, I'm not that hopeful, but you never know. Football Manager likes to have some fun with you. Hopefully it's going to have some fun with us today. What isn't going to be fun is doing it without Simon Patton, who's been injured for a little while. Worryingly, Patton's actually been injured for a lot of our good run. Okay, for only 3 of the 6 matches, but still, we're actually looking quite good without him, which, let's not read too much into that, eh? We'll be fine. I mean, this is the team anyway that we're going to face Forest with and hopefully pick up a win. Obviously, anything other than 2 wins and we're definitely in the playoffs rather than automatic. But at the moment, we can still hope for automatic. We've got Jaskalainen in goal, a back four of Hecker, Gibson, Solomon and Lopez, Zakowski at the base of the midfield, Taylor and Wassel ahead of him. Still can't get his name out of my mouth. I mean, then Morgan and Joyce supporting Jones up front. Let's get into the game. We have settled into the 4-3-3 as well on this run. I know we were messing with the 4-2-3-1 a little bit. We abandoned it, and then as soon as we settled back into the 4-3-3 again, the form came back. So I think what we've learned there, it's a lesson I've learned probably, and I don't like to use this term lightly, but I literally think I've learned that lesson hundreds of times over the years, and I will learn it hundreds more. I think I'm playing fast and loose with the word learn there. I'm acknowledging that I shouldn't randomly change the tactic all the time. And your best results in Football Manager always seem to come when you pick a tactic and just stick with it and give it a chance. Jones is in here, and as top scorer in the league, you'd back Ricky J. Jones to score there, and we did kind of need the goal. But alas, he fires wide. Let's check in on what West Brom are up to. They're still 0-0 in their game against Cardiff. So we're, a couple of draws for West Brom. As long as we win, that's fine. We don't need West Brom to be losing. We just want them to be dropping points. Specifically, I think if they drop 2 points, we're 2 points behind them. So if they drop 2 points while we win twice, so 1 draw, and I think our goal difference takes us past them. And there's Jack Joyce with his 12th goal of the season. What a finish that is as well. He is a very important part of this team. We were looking for the final part of the front 3. Joyce is definitely it. The question now, of course, is whether or not we can get Jack Joyce next season. If we're in the Championship, hopefully we can loan him again. If we're in the Premier League, maybe we can go and buy him. Who knows? And Wolves are probably going to be reluctant to let him go, bearing in mind how important a part of our team he's already proving to be at such a young age. They'd certainly be silly to let him go cheaply. But then Brighton let us have Ricky J. Jones for £4 million. So they're silly about the place. So maybe we'll be able to capitalise on some more silly as Jones does break through and grab his 33rd goal of the season to put us 2-0 up. For a second there, it looked like there was no roof on that stand, which there is a roof on that stand. I see it now. Well, I don't see it now. I saw it before, but it looked like there wasn't one. What's going on in the West Brom game? West Brom have gone ahead in their game, which is unfortunate. It's obviously we can win 8-0, and it means nothing if West Brom win. So we do need a Cardiff goal in this second half. But like I say, we just need them to draw one of their 2 games. It might not be that they draw the one against Cardiff. Maybe they draw the one against is it Ipswich they're playing? Yeah, because we face Brentford, they face Ipswich. So maybe they'll draw against Ipswich. Maybe they'll lose a game. All we can do is keep winning and hope it's enough, and curse the fact that we messed around with the 4-2-3-1 for a dozen games halfway through the season, and how different things might have been if we hadn't have done that. Jääskeläinen making a good save there, and Gibson with the clearance. Is that EK Ugbo up front for them? Former non-league legend veteran. It is EK Ugbo. I don't know where he comes from in real life. We signed him from Portsmouth. Or was it I don't think we've managed Portsmouth, have we? I think we bought him from Portsmouth. I want to say for Ipswich years ago. I don't know. Who knows? I know I recognise the name. We're bringing Byers on, and we're making our substitutions late because I was so distracted by Ugbo. We're also going to bring Kasani on, and Morgan's shattered. So we're going to do a triple change and bring on Steve Wilson on that left-hand side as well. And hopefully... I'm still distracted. I'm trying to remember where we had him. I don't remember where we had him. I don't think it was Barnsley last year. Right, Kasani. That's a terrible pass from Kasani, and it is left us a little bit of trouble, but Solomon just deals with it comfortably. Byers finds Zakowski. Byers playing it forward to Jones now. Joyce back into Jones. Jones is so quick. I know I say it a lot, but my word, does his pace cause problems. Kasani, Byers again. Joyce to Jones, who just turns and runs and scores. And I mean, there's your Ricky J. Jones t-shirt right there. Turn, run, score. That's what he does. That's all he needs to do. There's no finesse. There's nothing fancy about it. He's just quicker than everybody else, and he's a good finisher. So he picks the ball up there, and that guy he's ruined. He can't turn as quick as Jones does. And by the time he's done turning, Jones is 2 yards away from him. It's baffling to watch, but brilliant at the same time. Right, West Brom still 1-0 up over Cardiff, so it looks like it is going to be going down to the final day of the season. And we just have to do our bit again and hope the Football Manager gods are smiling down on us. Otherwise, just take this momentum, take this good form into the playoffs and make sure we win them. One way or the other, the form we're in, we should be a Premier League side next season. Right, no changes to the team for the Brentford game. The only change is Patton is now fit enough to sit on the bench. He could probably start if we absolutely had to start him, but the form this front three are in currently, I don't feel the need to start him at the moment. He can come on if we need a goal in the last half hour or so. Otherwise, we're saving him for the playoffs, where we're almost certainly going to end up because West Brom just got too many points too early on. But you never know. We can dream, and we are dreaming. I like dreaming. Dreaming is good. Stop saying dream, Kev. Right, Joyce looks to turn and run. Does exactly that. Joyce charging down the right-hand side. He's got Jones inside of him. Lopez with the cross. Taylor's there. And there's Lewis Morgan. And that's 1-0. Less than a minute on the clock. It's 1-0 to Posh. Morgan with his second goal since joining us on a free transfer from the MLS in January. And I realised I said Joyce had Jones inside of him. I've got to rephrase that one, haven't I? If I ever want to make it in commentary, that's a phrase I've got to take out of the dictionary. I say that too often. We're 1-0 up anyway. Let's check in on what's going on in the West Brom game. They're away against Ipswich. They are drawing. So as it stands, if everything stays as it is, we do go up to the Premier League. Ross Sykes has just made it 2-0 on 6 minutes, a 10th goal of the season for our captain, our leader, our 6'5" aerial threat at corners, Ross Sykes, putting us 2-0 up. And now we're just hoping that, I mean, Ipswich, I mean, I know you lot, if you're a recent viewer, you probably remember Bristol Rovers more than Ipswich, but I think Ipswich are probably the team I've managed more matches in non-league to legend with than anybody else. I had 2 long spells with Ipswich in the first couple of seasons of non-league to legend, whereas the 2 trips to Bristol Rovers were relatively short. I think I managed Southend twice as well. But Ipswich and Spurs I've managed twice. So Spurs might be the team that I've spent more time at than anyone. But Ipswich are certainly close. They're very dear to my heart because of it. And hopefully they repay that heart dearness today by just beating West Brom 16-0. That'd be lovely if they could do that. Or holding them to a draw, I guess, is fine. But I would rather not have the stress of heading into the final few minutes with it still being 0-0 in their game. If it could be 4 or 5-0 to Ipswich by then, that'd be fine. I feel a little bit heartbroken seeing Jay Da Silva score against me because I'm not entirely sure which one of the Da Silvas it is that played. I think it was my Bristol Rovers team actually. Might have been Barnsley, but we had one of the Da Silvas who was brilliant. It might have been Jay, might have been Josh. I'm not sure. Either way, I don't like seeing either of them score against me. Joyce doing brilliantly here. Joyce. Great play. There you go. Did so well until the finish. Football manager cliche right there. Did so well until the finish. Right, 2-1. It is still 0-0 in the Ipswich West Brom game. Zakowski wins the ball back in midfield, gives it to Morgan, and Morgan playing it all the way back to Jääskeläinen. At 2-1, I don't want to be taking any risks. So the ball's played across to Sykes, and then Jääskeläinen again. Did I say we were playing Forest before? I don't know why I thought we were playing Forest. That's who we played in the last game. I'm so focused on what's going on in the other matches. We're playing. I know we're playing Brentford because I've talked about it at length. Zakowski playing it forward to Taylor. Taylor, Morgan, back to Taylor again. Morgan went on a little run there, but everyone ignored him. Hecker playing it into Joyce. Lovely pass from Hecker. Lovely goal from Paul Hecker. People mocked me when I sold Reece Devine and replaced him with Paul Hecker. But Hecker has turned up at such an important moment and grabbed what could be a crucial goal. He might not be the assist machine that Reece Devine was for us, but Hecker can cut inside as a fullback and hit it with his good foot. And that's a lovely goal. Right, 3-1 to us. We check in on Ipswich and West Brom. It's still 0-0 there. As we approach half-time, we are still in second place. But it is all about what's going to go on in that other game. Jack Taylor's there and has scored a ridiculous goal. A 10th goal of the season for him. That's a real theme of this team this year. Goals are coming from everywhere. And we've had 10 for him, 10 for Sykes. We've obviously got Patton, Joyce and Jones all scoring up front. Casey Palmer, remember him? He's still around. He just doesn't get in the team anymore. He was weighing in with goals early on. We've had goals from everywhere, and that's why we're doing as well as we are. I think I just saw Ipswich had gone ahead against West Brom. I might have misseen it. It was right at the end of the first half. I think Ipswich have gone a goal up over West Brom. They haven't. It's the other way around. Oh, I know. I knew I'd seen a goal, but hope ruined me. West Brom are back up into second place with a goal against Ipswich just before half-time. And now we could just carry on scoring forever and it doesn't matter. We're going to be in the playoffs. Morgan's there. Lovely goal from Morgan. It's 5-1 to us now. We are playing like a team that deserved to be in the Premier League. I wonder who sits on that bench facing away from the pitch during the match. That lovely little patio area in the corner of the ground where there's a bench that faces away from the action. That's... That feels like that would be where Anna would sit if I took her to a football match. She doesn't like football and she'd just sit there in protest. I'll come with you, but I'm not going to look. I'm going to go and sit on the bench near the bins and I'm going to look at this wall eating my rollover hot dog. Right. I'm so disappointed in Ipswich. Right, Sykes playing the ball forward, looking for Jones, doesn't find him. I guess we need to start thinking in terms of keeping players fresh for the playoffs. Ivan Toney's in, and Ivan Toney scores one more goal at London Road for old time's sake. Hopefully it'll be his last time playing here, unless we sign him in the summer. Because hopefully we'll be in the Premier League next year. But it's 18 goals this season for him. We know Ivan Toney's a good player. He was someone we were considering bringing in January, but Brentford wanted like £10 million for him. So we went for Joyce on loan instead because at the time we didn't have £10 million. We didn't know we were going to be selling Devine. If that deal had come together a little sooner, Ivan Toney could well be in a Peterborough shirt right now. We are going to just we haven't got anyone to bring on for Zakowski, so we won't bother making that change. And what we will do is bring on Simon Patton just to give him a little bit of a run out, save Jones's legs, and we'll leave it there for the time being. I want to check in on the actual score in the West Brom game. I'm hoping it's still only 1-0 and we've got a lifeline. If they're 2 or 3-0 up, then we really are planning for playoffs. It's Ipswich are ahead. Oh my word. Ipswich got 2 goals in 3 minutes. And as of right now, we are back in second place. Oh my word. The Ipswich equalisers only just coming through on the in-game thing. Oh, if we ruin our side of the bargain after all this, my word, that is delayed compared to what we see on the touchline tablet thing. Right, my goodness. Ipswich have now had a player go off injured. I thought it was a red card. They are 2-1 up. West Brom have to score twice to get into the Premier League. And we're going to take off Gibson and we're going to bring on Mads Anderson, the big guy. Oh, tell me we're not going to blow it on our end, though. It's 5-3. It's still 2-1 to Ipswich. It's still 2-1 to Ipswich. Surely they're not going to score 2 goals in the last minute or so. I think we might be in the Premier League. We've been promoted due to results elsewhere going our way. I really hope I'm not going to be done over by the game again. If you weren't around last year we actually got presented with a trophy and then told we hadn't won the league. So I'll believe it when I see the league table. But I think we are in the Premier League, boys and girls. Let's wait for the confirmation. I need that league table. We've been promoted. Oh, my word. We're in the Premier League. Oh, my goodness me. And we've been given the budgets immediately as well. We've got a big pile of cash to spend. Loads of wage budget. It's not enough to stay in the Premier League, probably. But that is one of my finest moments in all my years playing Football Manager. In a non-league to legend series, I have got Peterborough United, the team I support, promoted to the Premier League, finishing the campaign in red-hot form. Come on! Oh, my word. I'm excited now. We'll be back tomorrow with transfers. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.